Raining Kalotinis! Guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Mariam, aka Cypriot Sister Scent. I have 7 fragrances from the great Theodoros Kalotinis from Greece. And if you didn't already know, the name that I go by probably makes it quite obvious, but I'm actually from Cyprus. So when I discovered this Greek perfumer, absolutely hits home for me, and I'm so excited to discover more from this brand. Plus, majority of these are gourmands. Hello. I love gourmands. It's just a win-win. I'm just genuinely so excited to talk about all of these. We're gonna start with the best. No, the best. Spoiler. We're gonna start with the newest one at the moment that everyone's talking about, Caramel Oud. Oh, I'm so happy I have this. Look at me grinning from ear to ear. Oh, when I tell you, I was so back and forth and so scared. A lot of people were complaining about it smelled something leathery in it, a bit metallic in it. As intriguing as the name sounds, I was still very scared. But first thing I'm going to tell you, the oud in this, it's not animalic, it's not challenging. It just adds a little bit of a woodiness to this fragrance, and it's gorgeous. Hold on, refresher. So on first blast, the thing that pops into my mind was like a salted caramel, some spices in there. I think it's the saffron that gives it that little kick. You do get something that is maybe reminiscent to a leathery note, just a touch, but it's not leathery. I wouldn't describe it as a leathery fragrance. I would probably say it's more of a suede. Leather can be quite harsh, quite animalic as well in some fragrances, but suede is a little bit more smooth, just a softer version of a leather. It doesn't linger for very long. Think of saffron spices drenched in caramel and sugar. This is a very sweet saffron. I'm definitely getting a caramelized saffron, and it smells so expensive. I felt like I could almost taste the grains of like some sugar in here, but I think that's just what the saffron kind of does. A very sugary, caramelly saffron. There's also toffee in here, so I think the toffee kind of adds to that gooey texture. I love fragrances with caramel but with an added toffee note, because that's what gives it that chewy kind of gooey texture to the fragrance. The caramel does linger, but it is one of the first notes that kind of dissipates, and then you're left with a woody, sugary oud. But I do also think that's why this one does last quite a long time on the skin and definitely on the clothes, because it's got a very heavy, woody, oudy base. It is still sweet in the base, but more of a toffee rather than a gooey caramel. When I first sprayed this, the first fragrance that popped into my mind was Kayali Vanilla Royale Sugared Patchouli. It's another fragrance that's like the closest thing to a sugary, caramelly, gourmandish oud. Yeah, so they aren't the same, but it did remind me of it for some reason. This is a scent profile I love. I love a sweetened oud. It's not Middle Eastern leaning, it's not animalic, it's not challenging. It's a very wearable, likable oud. Right, now we're going to talk about Lemon Tart. Oh my god, by the way, these are the most photorealistic, I swear, the most photorealistic fragrances ever. The image that popped into my mind was a lemon meringue, like a crispy, fluffy, sugary lemon meringue. Stunning. Oh my gosh. It's very different to Unknown Pleasures by Kerosene. It is quite different to Lyra by Xerjoff. This is different. It's very sugary. So as it dried down on my skin, it did get richer. It started to smell a little bit like a lemon cheesecake, or maybe a lemon tart, but a cold dessert. This doesn't smell like a warm, fresh out the oven. That's why I think cheesecake, meringue, lemon tart comes to mind. These are quite cold, crisp, citrusy, sweet, sugary desserts, and that's what this gives. This gives cold. It's definitely got like a buttery, flaky kind of quality, but like I said, it's not warm, which makes sense because the Mediterranean is very hot. As it dries down more, the sweetness kind of dissipates, but the lemon stays, so it just starts to smell more like a fresh, lemony, zesty, slight sweetness on your skin. I can't wait to whack this out in the summer, because I can't see this getting cloying either. Like I said, it doesn't feel like warm, gooey, doughy. It feels more like a fresh, crisp cheesecake or a lemon tart. It's what it says on here. It's insane. Okay, next I want to talk about Coffee Addict. This one I've been so intrigued. Oh, is this my favorite? It might be. This one makes me so happy. The photorealistic coffee thing makes sense because in Greece and Turkey and Cyprus, we're all about the coffee. You know, that good strong espresso stuff. Yeah, this is roasted. This is gorgeous. Okay, let me get into this. First of all, this should have been... I can taste the roasted coffee beans on my tongue. mad. This should have been called coffee and caramel. The name does suit it because I am addicted. This is such a stunning sweet coffee fragrance. Without being overly sweet or overly sugary, it's just the perfect balance. I'm in love. This is so syrupy and sweet, but it still maintains that realistic ground bitter coffee. You know, when you buy coffee beans, you can get coffee beans that are infused with different flavors. This actually reminds me of chocolate infused coffee beans. Not the plain coffee beans, the chocolate infused ones, guys. It smells like that kind of coffee. This is stunning. Stop. I'm gonna wear this every morning. So in the very dry down, the coffee does dissipate more and more, and then you're left with a caramel. The base of this fragrance on my skin is gorgeous. Oh, I love it. This is the kind of base I wish caramel oud had, but I do understand. It's called caramel oud, not caramel coffee oud. Do you know what I mean? Ooh. They would be so good layered together. Nah, this would layer with a lot of stuff. I already know another one I want to layer this with. Anyway, talking too much. Funny story, I made this my scent of the morning the other day because I love coffee fragrances, specifically in the morning. I am a coffee drinker in the morning as well, but I also love to smell like coffee. But not just coffee, I like a very sweet coffee in the morning. So I sprayed this, I made it my scent of the morning. He goes,
"You making toast?"
And I was like, no, but you're so right. This smells a little bit like toast. The coffee is so realistic and roasted and sweet and gourmand. It gives toast. Not like, oh, you smell like burnt toast. No, it gives like a breakfast vibe. I don't know what it is. It's so cool. I love it. Gorgeous. Okay, let's talk about something a little bit different. We'll break it up a bit. So, alluring fig. Not many people talk about this one, but I was very intrigued by this. Now, this one, I do struggle with a fig note. I'm not gonna lie. And I do find the note of fig a little bit challenging in some fragrances, but I was very intrigued. And this, guys, oh my gosh, I think you have to be familiar. Again, another photorealistic fragrance. This is insane. I grew up with fig trees in our garden. Both my grandparents, they both have fig trees growing in the back of their garden. And I'm talking old school fig tree. These fig trees have been there for at least 10, 20 years. They're as old as me. This opens up quite sharp and green and realistic. So the images that popped in my mind, I could smell the leaves of the fig. Not the fig, I smelled the leaves first. The leaves are quite large and they have a little texture when you stroke them. So realistic, it almost has a texture. I could see myself touching the leaves of the fig tree. Yeah, this went really deep for me. I really enjoy this fragrance and I struggle with fig. That greenness stays but does dissipate slowly, and the fig does get creamy on the skin. From the stems and the leaves and the fig tree, this does get creamier. You've picked the fig from the tree and you've bitten into a soft, sweet fig. I feel like in the summer, when I don't want to wear anything sickly sweet, this is gorgeous, and I will definitely be wearing this, especially for the nostalgia. I'll probably even wear this to visit my grandparents. And he said, I think he said he smelled like, you know, when you cut the stem of a fig tree and it kind of oozes out with some sort of cream. He loves it. He wanted to wear this the other day specifically. And these fragrances are so easy to layer. If this ever feels a bit too sharp or green for me, I could easily sweeten this up with a tiny bit of vanilla while still enjoying that fig note. Do you know what I mean? I am just so happy there is a note of vanilla in here, because I think that's what really grounds it and smooths it out for me while still being a very photorealistic fig. So that's alluring fig. In love. I want to talk about this one. So we have Jasmine of Athens. Obviously the jasmine flower is very popular in the Mediterranean. We've got jasmine trees that blossom everywhere in Cyprus as well. You have to love florals and you have to love jasmine and tiara flower to enjoy this. However, there is a very heavy dose of vanilla in here. It's a very creamy jasmine. It's not an andolic jasmine. It's not an animalistic jasmine. This is probably the one I've worn the most already. So this is comparable to Montal Intense Tiare. I do feel like Intense Tiare is very screechy and synthetic and not as smooth and creamy as this one is. This is way creamier, way more vanillic. So this opens up extremely floral. Jasmine. Definitely jasmine in the opening. This doesn't smell like jasmine rouge. This doesn't smell like lust. As the jasmine dissipates, you are left with more of a tiara flower in the mid, and that gives it a very tropical feel. Again, this is something I would wear on holiday. It's that base, guys. It's that vanilla base. After about 4 hours, I went back to smell my hand and I was like, wow, is this the same fragrance? This dries down so sweet and vanillic, and it's just a joy to wear. It is a bit reminiscent of a banana, which was one of the reasons I was very intrigued to have this one, because a lot of people said they smell banana in it. I did spray this in the evening time after I had a shower, shower, I sprayed it on my shirt, and then I smelt it well and truly into the next day on my shirt. So definitely long lasting. So that's Jasmine of Bens. Okay, let's talk about velvet chocolate. So I've said this before, this smells exactly like the shavings of a very dark, expensive Belgian chocolate. This doesn't smell like dairy milk, Cadbury's dairy chocolate bar you get from Co-op for £2.50. This smells so expensive. Such a realistic chocolate. This is definitely one of those foodie fragrances that you are just gonna smell like food. Can't smell any florals in here, anything. It is just a dark Belgian chocolate, and it's insane. It's so rich, it's almost bitter. It's not bitter by all means, it's not like, but it does smell like a 70 to 80% dark chocolate Belgian cocoa stuff. Oh my god, this is mad. I love it. This is one I definitely can't wait to layer with some of my coffee fragrances to sweeten them up as well. I'm gonna layer Coffee Addict and Velvet Chocolate. Excuse me while I draw. That smelled like a chocolate mocha. This was my first fragrance from Theodoros Kalotinis, and it was the fragrance that made me intrigued to buy lots more from this brand. Like, you can almost taste the powder, the chocolate cocoa powder on your tongue. I have Chocolate Greedy by Montal. I have Chocolate Affair by Dua. Chocolate Queen by Navitus. This smells nothing like any of those. This is so different. It's foodie. I will never get bored of velvet chocolate. And the last one I'm going to talk about, vanilla. This is actually my scent of the day today. I'm wearing this one today. First of all, I was a bit afraid to get this because I have so many vanillas in my fragrance collection. Half of my collection is vanilla, so I was like, is this going to be redundant? Especially with the name vanilla, you think that might just be all it is, but it's not. When I first sprayed this, I was like, this is woody. This is a woody vanilla. This isn't just vanilla. This is a vanilla with depth. It's so pretty. It almost has like a spice in there. I know there's no spices listed in here, but it smells like a spiced vanilla latte maybe. I was like, why is this so familiar as well? It reminded me of a note, and it's patchouli. There are some fragrances that I absolutely love that helped me understand and appreciate the patchouli note. And one of those fragrances is Angel Muse Eau de Parfum. This on the dry down is quite reminiscent of that for some reason. Imagine that Angel Muse minus the hazelnut and the chocolate. Just keep the vanilla and the patchouli. That's what this smells like to me. Oh, it's just very, very pretty. I'm very happy to have this one. I almost compared it to Angel Muse, but yeah. There is like a something spicy in here. There's something in there that's giving it like a bit of a rugged edge that I like. I can't wait to layer this with more stuff. Maybe even a bit of a cookie. Like a spiced salted caramel cookie. If you're sensitive to patchouli, you might pick up the patchouli straight away in this and be put off. Give it a chance, give it a few wears, you'll understand it more that this is a beautiful vanilla. I feel like there's more listed in here, you know what I mean? But yeah guys, that was my little review on my Theodoros Kalotinis. I love every single one of them. I'm really looking forward to discovering more from this brand. Please make sure to hit the thumbs up on this video because it really helps my channel out. So leave a comment down below, let me know what you think of these fragrances. If you have any of them, are there any that I'm missing out on that I should probably have? Give me a bit of FOMO, you know? I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Obviously, I'm going to be including these in loads more future videos. I'm going to be talking about them even more. As of now, this is just my little review and my take on them all. Please hit that subscribe button. You might click off this video and lose me and never find me again. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye! Mwah. Is there even saffron in here? Can you imagine if there isn't? More than a tart? Big up you lot. This word, but there's no other word. She's okay. Spiced. I can't even speak. Look at me trying to smell the bottle. I'm so confused. Oh, I love figs. I haven't had a fig in a long time, bro.